Here we are. Good morning. We've got Marilu Henner joining us this morning, talking about her book,
Total Memory Makeover. Uncover your past, take charge of your future.
And this book, if you don't know, it's incredible. Marilu is incredible. And not only is she a wonderful actress, which we've seen her in a ton of TV shows and movies, but also one of the very few people in the world that has this incredible recollective memory, really, that you remember everything.
Yeah,
everything in your life.
Everything within my lifetime. People say, "Oh, well, what day was did Columbus discover America?"
I'm sure people ask you all the time. I'm sure. Let me quickly
crazy.
Introduce you to everybody
here
while I have you. This is Deanna. He's in Reno with us.
Okay, hi, Deanna.
Gracie is in Kentucky. Justin is in Brighton. He's in the UK. Kempton is in Canada. Kim is in Kansas City.
Hello.
Hi.
Nick is in Dallas, and Trev is in Yorkshire. He's also in England, and we do have a bunch of people watching us on air right now. So I want to say hi to you guys. Hello, YouTubers, and hello, world. If you have a question for Marilu, tag us, me, or anyone in the Hangout, and I'll get it to her. Okay. Yeah. So we were all talking about you before you came in, and how I think years from now you'll remember us, hopefully. Right? If we were walking down the street and we saw.
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so it's a little harder to know.
Okay, here, let me make it bigger.
A little bit bigger, yeah.
So there they are. But
so it's a little different.
You probably will, right?
More than likely. I can't see everybody's faces that well, but I'll remember you. And I'll remember this day.
You'll remember this day.
And today I was just thinking about what happened this day, 31 years ago. It was the day that I woke up and I went, oh my gosh, 31 years ago I was at the Cannes Film Festival and we opened the film Hangout. And I ran into my friend Treat Williams on the floor, on the steps of the Palais, and I just started to scroll through this entire day. I sometimes do that as a meditation, and it's really kind of fun. But I wrote the book because I wanted other people to be able to experience some of what I experienced naturally. I figured if I could put some of the things that happened to me just automatically into a certain strategy for them, they might be able to prompt it as well.
So you think that we can be better at doing it? Certainly not to the level with which you have this ability, but we can be better.
Oh, totally. I think people. Well, first of all, I think people have gotten nobody here, of course, but we got lazy.
Yes,
people got lazy.
I admit it. Yeah.
And you're in a you're at dinner with someone and you're texting your next person.
I do not remember phone numbers anymore.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I can remember my high school phone number because we had to.
And you remembered it over and over again, the repetition.
I don't remember anyone's phone number.
Well, one of the things I always like to tell people to do is just that second time through or third time through, at night when you're brushing your teeth, why don't you just scroll through the montage of your day? Just say, what did I do today? Because to me, if every day you're waking up, you're living your life, you're turning off the light, you go to sleep. You wake up, you live your life, you turn off the light and go to sleep. And nothing has moved forward with you, well then, what does it all mean?
There's no reflection or
anything, there's nothing. And to me, it's the strongest line of defense against meaninglessness that we have. Because you have to make something in your life mean something, because then you can say, wait a minute, wait, that person that I'm about to go on this date with, they're reminding me of something from my past, and there's a red flag there, or I had a great time this time on that job interview. What did I do? Oh, I did this. Let me do that again for this next job interview. Things like that.
That's incredible. Okay, it's fascinating to me. I know that you guys have some questions, and
they probably have questions about Celebrity Apprentice because I was just on that. The finale was the other day.
Now, who's got the first question? Who wants to go first? Trev, yes, go ahead.
Yes, it's about same topic about your memory. What happens when you get drunk? Because when I get drunk.
That's so funny because only somebody from the UK would.
Yes.
I definitely will remember you. It's so funny because the two things that I ever drink are sake and tequila. Those are my two things. I don't drink. They're also from, one's from the agave plant and the other one is from rice. It's from a rice wine. And so I always say, well, there's a parallel universe. It's called Sake Land or Tequila Land. So I remember all the memories within those things. But no, the memories stay the same. I mean, some of my best memories are having, a couple drinks with somebody are from Sake Land.
That's
especially
amazing.
if I was with someone in Sake Land.
Yes, Justin, go ahead.
I wondered with your memory, is that mainly with events and lifetime things, or is it with information as well? Because that must be quite easy for you learning lines for parts if you've got a memory.
Yeah, that's one of the questions people always ask me, but as I always describe it, learning lines is kind of a two-dimensional experience. You know, you're reading lines on a printed page. So it's more like photographic memory where you're taking a picture of something that's two-dimensional. But I will remember lines, but I'll also remember where I was when I read the script, what the character reminded me of, how I felt reading the script, what didn't, you know, I can think of any script within my lifetime and I can tell you when I first read it and what I was doing.
Amazing. Now, there's obviously a lot of positives to having this ability to do.
Always.
What is the negative to it? Like people, I'm sure, like people who are very close to you go, I don't remember that, all right? You know, because I get that with my husband. I'm like, don't you remember? I told you a gallon of milk, and you know, I don't know.
Well, you know, I always say there's no downside for me, just for my husband. Yeah. But he always says, what man ever loses an argument against his wife anyway? At least he has an excuse.
This is true.
I think there's no downside because it's, you know, your life is your story. Your memories are your story. Right. And by saying you'd want to forget something or there would be a downside, it's like saying I'm going to read a novel, but in chapter 10 something bad happens to the protagonist, so I'm going to skip that chapter even though it informs the rest of the story. I mean, every single thing you do every day in the laboratory of your life has some kind of connection and significance. So by being able to string all of those things together and cross-connect the information, it's a very powerful tool to live a better life. So there is no downside at all.
Kim, yes, go ahead.
I have a question regarding your live show that you do daily, Monday through Friday. Who are some of the guests that have really impacted you, and who are some of the guests that you want to come on your show?
Well, I just started last week. I don't know if you know that. I just started my own radio show, and you can find it at marilushow.com. It's all over the world. It's on different radio stations, you know, typical radio stations, but it's definitely streamed internationally. And last week I had the man who started it all for me, the creator of Grease, Jim Jacobs, and so he was a great guest. I wanted him on my first show because he's very good luck for me. But I also had Omarosa from Celebrity Apprentice, Carol Kane from Taxi, Tony Dovolani from Dancing with the Stars. Today I had Brandy Roderick. I'm having, you know, a lot of the Celebrity Apprentice people are coming on during this time because the show is so fresh in everybody's minds. But I'm going to be having a lot of different guests, and I have a section of the show called Backstage Pass, where I'm actually going to have some behind-the-scenes people from Hollywood so that people can learn a little bit about what goes on that you don't normally see in
kind of like
shows.
What we do here with Google Plus, actually. Kempton, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Marilu, how old did you discover you have this ability, and was it really hard for you to adjust? And I bet you still remember that, right?
Well, I just never remember. There was never a time when I didn't have this memory, because even at 5 years old, I had an incredible memory, and I used to, you know, fall asleep saying, "What did I do a week ago? 2 weeks ago? What did I do a year ago?"
So when did you discover, though, then that
it was
no
unusual?
one else was?
Well, as my circle of friends got bigger, I realized I had the best memory of anyone that I knew, you know, certainly within my family first, and then my friends, and then my high school, and then my college. But, you know, I had no idea how unusual this memory was, or that there was a name to it, until the whole 60 Minutes thing came out.
Which is when we first saw. That was not that long ago.
No, well, it was on December the 19th of 2010.
Of course.
But yeah, but it was, we actually shot it the year before in 2009, and then it took all the research and the measuring of our brains. Because what they've discovered is that those of us who have highly superior autobiographical memory, or HSAM, we have 9 areas of our brains that are 10 times larger than the normal person's.
It is physically larger.
Literally larger.
Is larger.
They literally wire our brains, put us through MRIs, you know, and watch how everything fires up and the neural pathways and everything, and they take the measurements. They took 300 measurements of our brains, and there were 9 distinct areas that were 10 times larger.
Trav, yes, you have a question, follow-up, go ahead.
Yeah, because you've always been this way, do you not see it, do you not almost think it would be weird, and that the rest of us are almost disabled in a way? Because you don't, because you don't know what it's like to forget things like we do. And
yeah, somebody said, so you're the way you are, and the rest of us are muggles, you know. The rest of us. But I don't know. I mean, I think when you have this kind of memory, one of the exciting things for me is to like prompt people and say, no, okay, now I'm going to bring it back for you. And I remind them of things, and they'll go, oh yeah, right. And then they start remembering little things from their perspective, you know, so it's not, I mean, I was so used to it in my own family to be the one that everybody would say, okay, well, Marilu will remember, you know, or tell it to Marilu, she'll remember. So that just became, and believe me, I was one of 6 kids. I was happy for anything different from my brothers and sisters. Oh. You know, when you're like a little, you know, you're cats in a bag, you know, you're like part of a litter. You're so happy for anything that distinguishes you.
That's incredible.
You know.
Kim, yes, you have the final Campton question. Go ahead.
Is in getting diagnosed, did they say that this is something that will stay with you for the rest of your life, or is it some way that you can lose it? And the reason why I'm asking, I used to have that capability, and I just stopped using it, and it sort of went away. If that makes any sense.
You know, I don't think they know. I don't know. We don't know. They test us continuously, periodically, to see how fresh our minds are and if we remember certain things. So, you know, for me, I feel like because I'm exercising it so much, it's actually getting better in a lot of ways. Wow. But I feel like one of the reasons on Celebrity Apprentice All Stars I played for the Alzheimer's Association is, to me, losing your memory would be like the cruelest thing that could happen to somebody, because your memory is your story. You know, it's your life.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, as a study, it can benefit so many people. Just so you continuing to participate with these studies, I thank you.
And use the exercises from the book. You know, people are now using this in different places.
Check out the book, you guys. I know I am, definitely.
Do you have one with you today so we can see the cover?
Yeah, I think they have it there.
Total Memory Makeover. I've got a little red string around my finger so you can see that.
If you go to Marilu's website, Marilu Henner.
You can Marilu.com. Marilu.com.
Marilu.com, and it has all the information also on her radio show. But listen, thank you so much.
Thank you. This is fun. I love this. This is the first time I've done something like this.
Oh, you have to incorporate this. Is great.
I know.
To me, it's really tops. It's Google Plus.
Yeah.
You can broadcast your radio show if you want.
I know. Isn't it amazing what we can do nowadays?
We can do.
And you have to think outside the box, and you have to remember what we used to do, and then now apply it to a modern world.
It's amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let me take a quick photo. Here's our camera. So ready? 3, 2, 1.
No cheese. I'm a non-dairy. Oh,
non-dairy. Saki.